Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we are starting with our new chapter, chapter number 5, Dissolution of Partnership Firm. So let's look at this chapter, what this wants to tell us. Now this chapter, do keep in mind, is different from what we have done. See, admission and retirement are closely related, okay? In fact, it's more or less opposite of each other. But this dissolution here, what is happening? The entire firm is going to shut down. The name is the dissolution, okay? It's the assets will get sold, the liabilities will be paid off, okay? Everything will cease to exist. So this is called dissolution. As stated earlier, dissolution of partnership changes the existing relationship between partners, but the firm may continue its business as before. The dissolution of partnership may take place in any of the following ways. So what are the ways of dissolution? Change in existing profit sharing ratio among the partners, admission of a new partner or retirement of a partner, death of a partner getting insolvent, okay? Completion of the venture if partnership is formed for that. That means that we will do only this work and then we will end our partnership. If this has been pre-decided, then it's also will lead to dissolution. And expiry of the period of partnership if the partnership is for a specific period of time, okay? So all these things will lead to dissolution of partnership. Now this was dissolution of partnership. What we are going to study? We are going to study dissolution of a firm, okay? Do remember the difference? All these things lead to only dissolution of partnership. The firm may continue to operate, but what is dissolution of the firm? There will be no firm anymore, okay? So dissolution of a partnership firm may take place without the intervention of the court, by the court, intervention of the court, or in any of the ways specified later in this section that we will be studying. So that will lead to dissolution of a partnership. It may be noted that dissolution of the firm necessarily brings in dissolution of the partnership. So whenever dissolution of the firm is happening, it is assumed that partnership will automatically be dissolved, but it is not the other way around. If we are just dissolving the partnership, it is not certain that the firm will also be dissolved. The firm may continue to operate. However, dissolution of partnership would not necessarily involve dissolution of firm. So dissolution of a firm takes place in any of the following ways. So what is the first way of dissolution of a firm? Firm, be very careful, don't get confused over here. So first way is dissolution by agreement. So the partners agree ki okay, tata bye bye, let's finish this venture off. So with the consent of all the partners or in accordance with the contract between the partners, the firm may be dissolved. Another way is compulsory dissolution. It's when all the parties or all but one partner becomes insolvent, rendering them incompetent to sign a contract. That, what is this? That you will be studying when you will be studying law in your future years, specifically Contract Act. So what is contract? When two or more people, they agree on the same thing, ki, okay, do you want, I want to sell you the house, okay, I want to purchase you this house for this amount, let's sign a contract. We know this much, okay. Now to be eligible to sign a contract, there is a necessity that the partner should not be, the person should not be insolvent. What is insolvent? That he is not able to repay his obligations, okay. He should not be insolvent. But if all the partners are insolvent, they are not eligible to contract, okay. Or if all but one are insolvent, we know that to have a partnership we need minimum of 2 people. Everyone is insolvent, one is not insolvent, still the partnership cannot continue. So it will be dissolution. Then when the business of the firm becomes illegal, suddenly the government passes a law that from now on selling this calculator is an illegal thing, okay. Now suddenly the partnership business became illegal, it is compulsory dissolution. Next, when some event has taken place which makes it unlawful for the partners to carry on the business in partnership, okay. So like passing that law was an event that took place, or suddenly the pollution level increased so much, okay, or there was a blast at the factory which rendered the further proceed of the factory will not be possible, then these all things will lead to compulsory dissolution. Next way of dissolution are on happening of certain contingencies. Okay, what are the contingencies? Subject to the contract between the partners, a firm is dissolved if constituted for a fixed term by the expiry of that term. So, before starting the firm, we wrote that in the partnership deed that the firm will continue for 5 years, or the firm will continue till the completion of this project. So, if it is for fixed term, then it will be dissolved automatically after the completion of this term. If constituted to carry out one or more ventures, by the completion of those ventures, by the death of a partner, and by adjudication of a partner as an insolvent. So, these all things will lead to dissolution of firm. Next, dissolution by notice. So, in case of a partnership at will, that means indefinite partnership, the firm may be dissolved if any one of the partners gives a notice in writing to the other partner signifying his intention of seeking dissolution of the firm. So, one of the partners says, let's close the firm. Okay, I don't want any one of you or me, including me, to continue with this firm. So, the firm has to be compulsorily dissolved. And the last, dissolution by court. Okay, when the court, okay, they tell us to dissolve, when they'll tell us at the suit of a partner, okay, there is a court case by the partner, the court may order a partnership firm to be dissolved on any of the following ground. When a partner becomes insane, pagal ho jata hai. Then when a partner becomes permanently incapable of performing his duties as a partner, when a partner is guilty of misconduct which is likely to adversely affect the business of the firm, or when the partner persistently commits a breach of partnership agreement, when a partner has transferred the whole of his interest in the firm to a third party, okay, he sold his partnership share to a third party, then also dissolution. When the business of a firm cannot be carried on except at a loss. And lastly, when on any ground the court regards dissolution to be just and equitable. So, these are the ways when the court, okay, will order dissolution of a firm. Okay. Now, in our this video, we will be just discussing this last topic, which will be distinction between dissolution of partnership and dissolution of firm. So, I hope you are able to see this. Okay, we are a bit small, but yeah, let's try. The first is basis. The first basis is termination of business and dissolution of partnership. Business may continue. Okay, business is not terminated, but in dissolution of firm, the business is terminated. The business of the firm is closed. Second, settlement of assets and liabilities. So, assets and liabilities are revalued and new balance sheet is drawn like we used to draw in admission and retirement or death of a partner. But here assets are sold and liabilities are paid off. Okay, that's why I told you it's totally different what we are going to do in this chapter. There will not be any revaluation account. Okay, fair. Then court's intervention. Court does not intervene because partnership is dissolved by mutual agreement. A new partner is coming in, so old partnership is dissolved, or a partner is going out or is dead. So, new partnership is to be drawn. That's why this is by mutual agreement. But here a firm can be dissolved by the court's order. Next, economic relationship. Economic relationship between the partners continues through the changed form. But here economic relationship between the partners come to an end. And the last thing, closure of books. So, does not require closure of books because business is not terminated. Here closure of books are required, the books of accounts are closed because business is terminated. Now, we will continue. A few more theory lessons are remaining of this topic and then we will continue our practicals. Okay, thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.